Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Last Word. I'm your host, TJ Chamberlain, and we're back with the budget cut background. No green screen today, and I'll be away next week, so I'll be filming remotely, along with a couple other things. One, I'll be doing I'll be doing an episode later, kind of just breaking down the trade deadline. So there'll be 2 episodes this week, one of which solely for the trade deadline. So that being said, I am not talking anything baseball-wise besides the standings. That will be filmed later, and that will be at home, and that will be more, StreamYard-based stream, where I'll be breaking down the major deals, and I'll be briefly going into the minor trades as well. So no baseball. We begin with football, and we've had a couple extensions today, but we're going to begin with the main one, and one that's actually a record-breaking one for the running back position. That, we're talking about Bijan Robinson getting a massive deal. It's 3 years worth up to $75 million with the Falcons, in which now that makes me think there's a chance Gibbs could get close to that, if not maybe $80 million. Because at the same time, you want to have to one-up it now. Well, you have to one-up it now. You don't really have a choice. You're just stuck. You're stuck with it now. That being said, you take into account that, one, Bijan is going to be worth that money in spades. Also, that's not the only Falcons extension they've done. Matthew Bergeron got $96 million last week. But at the same time, that's their best run-blocking lineman. So that's a deal that makes perfect sense. You know what else makes perfect sense? New Orleans, another team in the NFC South, extending Chris Olave. That does make sense. Is it a risk knowing his concussion issues? Yes, but it's going to be definitely an extension that is going to be a lot. And at the same time, you have Jordan Tyson as a backup option if needed, which I take Jordan Tyson over Rashid Shaheed, which, yes, Shaheed worked in that system, but that was when they had Kubiak as the offensive coordinator. After he left, he was still a deep ball guy, but he's more deep ball or bust. Tyson's more an all-around guy, kind of like Chris Olave. So that makes perfect sense of why you have them as a 1-2. And then you have a deep ball threat as a third option. Makes sense. Speaking of wide receiver extensions, Zay Flowers got 4 years, $140 million from Baltimore. And I'm kind of torn on it, if I'm going to be honest. Because, yes, Zay Flowers is a very, very solid receiver. However, you're paying him that much money? You're paying a lot of money for someone, and knowing Zay Flowers, here's the thing. I understand that it's now kind of market value for receivers to get, in their first extension, a stupid amount of money. I understand that. However, this would be nice if ESPN would actually load, which, yes, my computer's being super slow today for whatever reason. So we just don't question it right now. Last year, he had a really good year, being 11th in receptions and 7th in receiving yards. However, I get he's gone up, but at the same time, I don't think Zay Flowers is going to go more up than this. He might go up in the touchdown category. He might do that. He's only 44th in touchdowns. He's only had the most of 5 in a season. That part, I think he can go up. However, I feel like this would make sense if he keeps taking steps forward. I think he hit his peak. So I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it could be worse. It could be Ricky Pearsall who's now out for the season to the point that you have to re-sign Deebo Samuel like San Fran did because you're losing so many people to injuries that now Mike Evans is injured. So yes, San Fran and of course the power plant, waste plant, whatever's by the stadium, that theory is still a thing. But at the same time, this might be just like last year. You know, the yearly sacrifice of everybody else on the roster to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy. That's probably what it is. Seeing that there's already this many people injured, including Pearsall out for the season, if there's at least one more, you could bet on McCaffrey being healthy the entire season. That's just how it is. Other things. Brian Brees tore his ACL. He's now going to not be playing for New Orleans. Cleveland extended Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward was a 2-year extension that made him the highest paid corner in the league. And Grant Delpit was a 3-year deal worth $45 million. Jalen Carter got a 4-year extension worth over $100 million by the Eagles. Brian O'Neill got an extension by the Vikings. Chris Brazzell, the third-round rookie wide receiver for Carolina, suffered a torn LCL. He's now out for the season. So within the first week of training camp, Nick Scorton and Chris Brazzell are both out for the season. On top of Iquanu, who got injured in the playoff game, already out for the season. Or most of the season. DeAndre Hopkins announced his retirement officially after taking a coaching gig at Georgia Tech. Devin White signed with Detroit. I mean, honestly, him and Jack Campbell. I mean, I get Devin White is now just a tackle merchant, but yeah, that's basically it. For football. Oh, wait, no, and Kobe Bryant is out for 8 to 10 weeks, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson got injured. But besides that, yeah, now that's all for football. Now we have everything done. We now go to baseball. We're doing just the standings for baseball. Again, I'm saving all the stuff deadline-wise I'm filming an episode when I get home. And also another thing, I'll mention more things about episodes, in particular past episodes, in a little bit when we get closer to the end. So the AL East, we have the Rays leading over the Yankees by 3.5 games, the Sox by 5.5 games. They just swept the Dodgers this weekend. The Dodgers did make a big move. I'm saving that for the episode for later. Baltimore, then we have the Blue Jays. Central, we have the White Sox, Guardians, Twins, Tigers, and Royals. The Astros are leading the West over the Rangers, Mariners, Athletics, and Angels. The Braves, are still leading. 7.5 games over the Phillies and 9.5 over the Marlins. We have the Nationals and the Mets. The Brewers are leading the Cubs by 5.5 games. Then we have the Pirates, then we have the Cardinals, then we have the Reds, and the Dodgers lead the West by 9 games over Arizona, and everyone else is well over 10 back. So yes, that's baseball for this episode. NBA, actually the 2 bits of news are both Dallas Mavericks related. Kyrie Irving is expected to be cleared for when training camp starts. He will be playing this season. He missed all of last year recovering from a torn ACL. And speaking of Dallas, Najee Marshall signed a 3-year extension worth over $50 million, which is interesting. I know he had a pretty solid season, but golly, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So you take that into account. Yeah. Just, yeah. Hockey, the only real bit of news was Macklin Celebrini now getting the richest extension in NHL history. Well, I think it is, dude. Hold on. I think it is, yeah. Richest NHL contracts ever. I think it might actually be the richest ever now. Or at least AAV-wise. Yeah, by AAV. Yeah, Celebrini. He got $18.8 million. Kaprizov before this was the richest at $17 million. Then Leo Carlson got 18. Celebrini got 18.8. So, yeah. That is now the richest contract in NHL history, AAV-wise. Total money-wise, it was Kaprizov. in his deal. So, now we go from that to wrestling, because we have wrestling. SummerSlam, both nights of SummerSlam were this weekend. And now we look at the results. We begin with night 1. And we have Liv Morgan beat Io Sky. Then we had the 6-person tag match, which LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys beat the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, and the Usos. By the way, Solo Sikoa was the MVP of that match. Never have this man turn heel again. Literally, never have this man turn heel again. Him running it back with the yeets had me on the floor laughing. Never again turn him heel. Never again. Fatal Influence defeated the Bellas and Paige. The Bellas ended up turning on Paige after the match, and also Brie Bella is injured. So basically the turn is now pointless unless you're somehow setting it up to be a one-on-one feud. That's it. CM Punk defeated Cody Rhodes to retain the Undisputed Championship because a certain Viper Man came back and RKO'd Cody. Then we had Oba Femi beat Brock Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell. And Brock Lesnar officially passed the torch to Oba Femi as the future of WWE. Night 2, we begin with what was originally Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, I completely forgot as well with Night 1. Gunther defeated Nick Aldis in a pretty good match. Now on the Night 2, what was supposed to be Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Oh, no. Nick Aldis, who did get reinstated as the SmackDown GM because Triple H said you did what you had to. I'm not accepting your resignation. So, what was Finn Balor for Sammy, then turned into Finn Balor, Sammy, Gunther, and a returning Kevin Owens. And the returning Kevin Owens won the match to become the number 1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. So it'll now be CM Punk versus Kevin Owens. And I love that idea of that match. I'm all for it. Baron Corbin beat Trick Williams to win the United States Championship. Chelsea Green won the ladder match to become the interim women's champion. Love that. Danhausen won Human Monies on a pole. Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship via submission over Penta, and Roman Reigns defeated Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship in a 33-minute match. So, yeah. Now, that being said, racing-wise, we have some racing this weekend. IndyCar's in Portland. We're getting to the final stretch of the IndyCar season. We have couple more races after this one. We have Portland, we have Markham. So we have races for every weekend until the end of the IndyCar season now, which is September 6th. So that being said, for the next 5 weeks, there's at least one race. We have 6 races left because the 29th and 30th is the doubleheader at Milwaukee. So Portland's this weekend. That race starts at 4. Markham starts at 12 next Sunday. DC is at 11:30 EST. That's when it starts. And then the Milwaukee races are separate days. We have one during the Saturday at 2:30, and then the Sunday one is at 1 p.m. Then Laguna Seca starts at 12:30 EST. So, heading into those races, of course, Alex Palou still leads the championship. But at the same time, it could still be someone catching up. Also, we have the battle for Rookie of the Year that's still a thing. And we have Silly Season that's going to be kicking really into gear in the next month. So we have that to look forward to. F1's on the summer break. NASCAR's at Iowa this weekend. And now, with that being said, I have one more thing. And this is kind of an important thing when it comes to the last word. So I'm going to be a bit serious with this. Before we conclude today's show, this is, honestly, I don't know how to say this. I really do not know how to say this, but this is a big moment for the show and also a bit myself personally. So, in 3 weeks, actually 4 weeks. But in 3 weeks, the last word will record its final episode in the Smack studio. So August 25th will be our last episode in studio. After September 4th, I will effectively no longer be here. So it's more, nothing bad happened. Before anyone speculates that I'm getting yanked off the air because of other things. No, that is far from the truth. What's happening is I'm going back to college and I'm going to be about an hour away from here. And with that being said, and me mostly being unavailable for the next 3 months, of course, plans change. Originally, I was going to do stuff for my dorm and still get paid. That changed. And this is not something that I, wanted to happen. I didn't want this to be how the show ends. So, but also another thing, I'm saying, the show just won't be here. There might still be some episodes that are aired, on here. There might still be some episodes that, make their way. But at the same time, in 3 years, actually 4 years, this has became the longest running active show besides Talking Tunes. Talking Tunes is the only other show that has regularly done episodes. They're at 213 episodes. I'm at, once a bunch of stuff goes up, the OG first episodes before I started will be at 195. So, and then with the deadline episode I'll be doing either tomorrow or tonight will be at 196. So those will count as episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Meanwhile, the Smack thing and its timeline, yes, episode 100 will still be episode 100 for the Smack timeline, but in reality, it becomes episode 104. And I have also, including stuff I've done with Sports Rap and also the Fantasy Football Podcast, I've done, by the time I do the last episode, probably close to 300 shows between those two. And also, I could count the episodes of the historical podcast. I could do that as well. So in reality, yes, it is about 300 shows by the time I'm out of here August 25th. But I will say this. August 25th is going to be a big episode. It's going to be episode 200. It's also going to be my last one here. At least that's what the plan is. Because there'll be 196. Because, it would be episode. Because, yes, I already put up one of the older episodes. Plus, we had another 3 episodes. So it's 194, 195, 196. Next week's 197. The 18th is 198. No, does it have to be 199? So it'll have to be right before. Actually, no, the free agency frenzy does count as an episode of The Last Word because a lot of stuff was used for that. So that being said, that'll count as an episode. So yeah, this would really be 200 because it was basically the Last Word free agency frenzy when I did it for the NFL in March. So that being said, what comes next for the future? First off, I'll say this. Smack has been a big part of The Last Word. It's helped the show grow. It's helped me. You'll see once the old episodes came up, I had no idea exactly what I was doing. So from when I did the first episodes in 2021 compared to now, I would, of course, like to thank everyone that's been a part of this journey. Either it be the people that don't work here anymore, people that do work here now, people that have given me advice, people that have watched the show, and yeah, it's actually been a lot. As for the audience, every person that's viewed it, listened, talked to me about the show in person, people that were at the live show, it's part of it is because of you guys, the last word became more than just a show. A lot of it became something that I have seen, especially now. There's very few shows that Smack has that people really talk about, and this is one of them. I've gone out and I've had people talk to me about it. So yes. As for what Smack does now, I don't know if they are planning a brand new sports show. However, I would love there to be another sports show in this one's place. I have mentioned this a little bit, that I would love to see a new show that's sports-wise be made after I'm out of here, August 25th. I think there's an opportunity that still people from, the people that watch my show can carry over and watch that. It's not leaving me behind. I don't want that to be a thing. And it's not them leaving me behind. It's not them replacing me. It's something that way both sides can grow. So there will be hopefully a new person doing a sports show, which I'd love, even if it's Frank making a brand new sports show, because I know we have no idea where Mike Wigdor is, but I would love him to either I want him to bring back sports rap in some capacity, or I want there to be a brand new show with someone brand new, even if it be one of the new interns that comes in. I would love there to be something, and for when I'm out of here, that just any sports coverage on Smack just doesn't go away. As for what happens with me now, starting after August 25th, that will be the last time for the foreseeable future we'll be doing episodes on Tuesdays. The following week, we'll be doing episodes starting on Wednesdays. So September 2nd, we're moving to Wednesdays for the foreseeable future. Which means, for once, I'll be filming an episode on my birthday, which honestly is going to be a bit exciting, doing that for the first time. Also, it'll be on a brand new platform. There is a brand new Spotify account that has been made, the Last Word Sports Podcasting Network. So it'll be where all the fantasy football podcasts, all the main podcasts go, and in particular, if I end up starting any brand new shows during my time when I am an hour out, they will end up going there. It's the same sports conversations, same opinions, same passion. That has not changed. For the Fantasy Football Podcast, this season might be the most ambitious thing I have done with the show. We are still doing episodes on Monday. That'll be more talk about the games from the Sunday, talk about waiver wire. That part stays the same. However, there will also be more, because that'll also be a way, talk about injuries that happened during Sunday. We'll also have episodes that'll be filmed right after the Thursday night game. Week 1 in particular, there'll be about 5 episodes that week. 4 or 5 episodes just week 1. Because you'll have the Wednesday game. You'll have the Australia game. You'll have a lot of changes happening with that. Which I'll say this. This is definitely going to be a big change. Especially being here for over 4 years. It's going to be very weird not doing podcasts here anymore. But this is an opportunity that I am looking forward to, with being able to grow and also, do more things sports-wise, while at the same time hoping to see Smack expand even more, even though I won't be here anymore. Smack has always been a big part of this. This is where everything kind of went more consistent with filming the podcast. This is where everything, had the foundation built. This is where everything became good. It's where a lot of memories were made. Either it be me working with a lot of good people, me being pied, me having a lot of things. It's where a lot of memories were made. But now it is going to be time for the next chapter. So August 25th will be, plan is episode 200 once all the stuff is officially up. And that'll be the farewell episode for my time at Smack, which I hope to get a couple guests on. I'll be messaging some people, and I hope that the next chapter is a big thing. And I know when I'm editing this as well and I get to this part, you'll see what the new logo for where it is on Spotify will be. And also, I know in this episode's description, this is still going to be on Smackcast, and I know I'll try to get Caleb to send the link of where everything is going to be, including the new playlists that will be made. In fact, the updates that were already made, I actually had moved everything to that account, and I redid the entire playlists. So everything will be updated, with the old episodes being up at some point this week, the Free Agency Frenzy episode being done, and a couple other things. So that being said, that is all for this week's edition of The Last Word. I won't be here next week. I'll be out of state next week. And then we have one more show, just normal sports, and then we have the farewell episode. And that one will really not be much sports. It'll be more a farewell. So I'll try to have some guests on for that, as I mentioned. And I know there'll be some people that might have some words. But yeah, the news that it's officially official that I won't be here starting in September. So yeah, that's all for this week. That's TJ signing off. I will see you all in the next one. I'll see you away next week. And then the last two episodes here, which still feels weird to say. So thank you, and I will see you next week. Peace.